Okay, guys, last Sunday we didn't have anybody to film it. Miss Celeste was gone, so we're going to go over our lesson from last time. The time before we talked about the six spiritual principles, and this time we're going to start on the six practical principles. Now, the first one is do not live for the approval of others. Second one is you're not defined by your past. Third one is your worth is in Christ, not in your job or education. You are no longer a slave. You are now a child of God. Do not be led by feelings or emotions. Be led by the Spirit through His Word. Do not grow weary while doing good. When the time is right, you will reap what you have sown. So today we're going to talk about the first principle, which is do not live for the approval of others. Galatians 1:10. For do I now persuade man or God, or do I seek to please man? For yet if I yet please man, I should not be the servant of Christ. The world system is conditional, performed to be accepted. Christ's system is unconditional, believed to be accepted. This system assumes someone is always better, but this is a lie. The world system will never build you up. Romans 3:9-10 says, What then? Are we better than they? No, in no wise. For we have before proved, both Jews and Gentiles, that they are all under sin. As is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. We understand there are times when one is subject to others. You'll find that in Galatians 4:1-3. But we are not meant to stay that way. To remain in immaturity is to forfeit growth. 1 Corinthians 13:11. Seeking approval from mankind is always conditional. What have you done for me lately? Any change in fad or fashion can put you on the outs with those who once applauded you. The world is fickle. It lifts you up only to tear you down. Charles Spurgeon once said, if you please God, it does not matter whom you displease. But if you displease God, it does not matter whom you please. By seeking the approval of others, you will never find joy or happiness because you will always worry, did I do enough or too little? Instead, scriptures tell us whose approval we should seek, Christ, the one who bore our burden of sin, died our death, and rose again to give us life. Matthew 11:28-30 says, Come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am weak and lowly in heart. Vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. His meekness, which is power under control, is Romans 5:8. But God commendeth his love towards us, while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. His yoke of freedom, Galatians 5:1. Stand fast therefore in the liberty wherewith Christ has made us free, and be not entangled again in the yoke of bondage. There's some principles that's put out in 2 Corinthians 5:17-21. I just want to touch on them. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. There's some principles that's put out in 2 Corinthians 5:17-21. I just want to touch on them. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. Now then, we are ambassadors for Christ. Our duty to God in Christ is to sow the fertile fields of this world with the seed of reconciliation. That God's not imputing their trespasses. He's asking all to come. For we are ambassadors for Christ until he calls us home. A.W. Tozer observed, the approval of God is infinitely more important than the applause of men. Oswald Chamber put it this way, the remarkable thing about fearing God is that when you fear God, you fear nothing else. Colossians 1:10-17. that I might work worthy of the Lord unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work, increasing in knowledge of God. For by him were all things created, and he is before all things, and by him all things consist. Now, let's put this thing back in perspective here. The pursuit of human approval will always leave us empty, but the pursuit of God's approval fills us with lasting joy and freedom. When we rest in Christ's finished work, we no longer chase the applause of men, but walk confidently as servants of Christ. True peace comes when our hearts echo Paul's words, "For yet if I please men, I should not be the servant of Christ." Guys, God bless. Tune in next week for point 2, you are not defined by your past. Have a blessed day.